Thank you all for joining us, and welcome to our Can Do Canines winter graduation. I'm Jeff Johnson, the new Executive Director here at Can Do Canines, and I am so excited to be able to celebrate with you these new partnerships between some really special people and some really special dogs. Before we start, I want to thank the many people who are responsible for making today happen. Those who've donated puppies to us, those who've given medical care to these dogs, our army of volunteers who give weeks or months or sometimes years of their lives training and loving these dogs, our generous donors who allow us to always provide our assistance dogs free of charge, and our amazing staff of professionals here at Can Do Canines. And equally important, we want to thank our clients for choosing us to be a partner with them as they enter this new relationship and this exciting new stage of their lives. Due to COVID, our facilities are still closed to the general public, but all of our staff remain very hard at work, either on site or at home. Our kennel is full, and we continue to train new teams every single day. We currently have dogs in our prison program at 3 of our 7 prisons, with another ready to go online any day now. And of course, our volunteers have really stepped up during COVID to care for and train puppies over this past year. Thank you. Thank you all for what you do to support us and to support these inspirational teams that we all get to celebrate today. I now have the pleasure of introducing Mary Sue Kruger. She's a longtime supporter and former board president of Can Do Canines, and she will introduce you to today's graduates.
Thanks, Jeff. It's good to be with you for Can Do Canines' 3rd virtual graduation. It's exciting to know that in spite of the challenges of COVID-19, we're adding 17 new assistance dog teams to the 750 teams already in Can Do Canines Graduate Hall of Fame. You'll meet each team in video clips from the skills test they passed before being certified, so you can see what they look like when they're working together. Then we'll honor all the volunteers who were involved in raising that special dog. And you're invited to participate by joining the chat with your congratulations to our graduates. So without further ado, let's begin. A variety of medical conditions involving his spine caused Scott pain and unsteadiness and threatened to paralyze him. He also had a seizure disorder which caused him to lose movement and speech. Scott's mobility and seizure assist dog Oxley helped him with his daily tasks, retrieving and bringing Scott anything he needed. When Scott's hand tremors signaled a seizure, Oxley would lick and nuzzle to help him recover faster. If he needed more help, Oxley would get his wife Mary. During his recent battle with pancreatic cancer, Scott said, "Oxley provides comfort on my sick days." Sadly, shortly after Thanksgiving, Scott peacefully passed away in his home. Oxley was at his side through his sudden decline in health, and we celebrate the time the team spent together. Soon afterward, Oxley returned for final training to be an amazing assistance dog for someone else. Autism Assist Dog Nitro is helping Nolan express himself in ways that his parents, Megan and Ryan, have never seen before. Nolan struggled with anxiety, but that changed right away when the fun-loving lad came into their family. Megan says, Nitro has lowered that anxiety on a daily basis. Nitro gives purpose and structure to Nolan, who's responsible for feeding him. The interactions Nolan practices with his dog transfer to his interactions with people. Being out in public is less stressful. When they go for a walk, Nolan is tethered to Nitro. This prevents him from wandering off and keeps him safe. Watching what Nolan does with Nitro offers a good indication of what he's thinking and feeling, helping the whole family communicate better. Megan and Ryan see new possibilities for Nolan and express their gratitude to everyone who helped bring Nitro to them. Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog team Nolan and Nitro and their family. Betty struggles with mobility and balance due to Parkinson's. Issa is the mobility assist dog Betty can lean on whenever she needs help. The combination Newfoundland and Labrador Retriever picks up items Betty drops, so she doesn't have to bend over and risk a fall. If Betty freezes up, Issa nudges her back to full awareness. Before Issa, even walking across a room could be a challenge. Betty says, "I held on to the wall and hoped for the best." Now she has Issa to hold on to. When the two go out, Issa wears a special harness, which provides stability for Betty, giving her more confidence with movement. "She's more eager to do things for me than I can even think of things for her to do," says Betty. She's grateful to everyone who helped raise and train Issa, saying, "She's more than what I hoped for." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Betty and Issa. Janet's hearing loss causes her to miss important sounds. Her successor hearing assist dog Kona fills that void, happily alerting Janet to sounds she can't hear. With her husband working nights and their daughter living on her own, Janet felt vulnerable to the point of being fearful. She applied to Can Do Canines again and was matched with the young yellow lab. With Kona constantly by her side, Janet never misses a sound. If someone calls her from another room, Kona runs to Janet to let her know. The two worked together until Kona became familiar with all the sounds in their home, especially the smoke alarm and the oven timer. Cookies are never overbaked with Kona on the job. Janet's also more confident when she goes out, knowing Kona will alert her to any sound she needs to be aware of. Janet says, "Many, many thanks to Can Do Canines for what you've done to make this possible for us." Congratulations to successor hearing assist dog team Janet and Kona. Gavin and his autism assist dog Nana are inseparable. She loves to lie beside him for a snuggle. This helps Gavin self-regulate and process his emotions. "I know she'll always be there for me. She just listens. She doesn't ask questions," he says. Nana's also helping him learn routine and responsibility. Feeding his dog every day gives Gavin a sense of accomplishment and builds his self-confidence. Gavin says, "She takes care of me, and I'll take care of her." If he gets overwhelmed, he can go be with his dog and recover much more quickly. Going for walks is easier now, with Gavin and Nana tethered together for his safety, and his mom Jenny leading the team. Online school is going well too. Gavin can sit longer and focus better with Nana beside him. Jenny says, "What an amazing gift. She's one of the greatest things I could have asked for Gavin." Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Gavin and Nana and their family. "15-year-old Mike has cerebral palsy and uses a wheelchair. Mike admits, 'I drop things a lot. I had to ask people for help with everything.' Not anymore. Not with mobility assist dog Maddox by his side. Maddox gets Mike's leg braces and shoes and puts them by the door and picks up anything Mike drops, anywhere, anytime. Mike uses a home elevator to get from one floor to the next. Maddox uses a tug rope to open the door and then pushes it closed. If Mike leaves something behind, Maddox retrieves it and puts it on the tray of Mike's wheelchair. Mike looks forward to his world opening up once the pandemic settles down, saying, "It'll be good when we can go out more so I can have more independence." But for now, the soon-to-be high schooler says, "My life is so good. I feel excited with Maddox in it." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Mike and Maddox. Eight-year-old Braley and her parents David and Stacy welcome the calming influence that Autism Assist Dog Norton has in their lives. Braley has a tendency to run away from her parents in public. With Norton serving as a tethered link between Braley and a parent, they can now safely go out together. Stacy says, "Norton allows her to be actively engaged in our shopping trips." At home, Norton helps Braley stay relaxed by applying light pressure and snuggling, a technique known as visiting. He's even helping her learn math. While they're waiting for something, Stacy asks Braley to pet Norton 10 times, which helps her remain patient. David credits the many people who helped raise Norton, saying, "They're making a big difference in people's lives." Stacy adds, "Norton helps Braley be more independent now, which builds a foundation of future independence for her." Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Braley and Norton and their family. Gary has always worked to keep others safe, first in Vietnam and then as a father and family provider. Now Gary has hearing assist dog Marley, who's dedicated to keeping him safe. Gary has progressive hearing loss caused by a loud work environment and artillery noise levels. He wears hearing aids, but he's nearly deaf when he takes them out at night. Marley alerts Gary to noises he can't hear, then brings him to the source of the sound. She alerts and shows him to the doorbell, the smoke alarm, a timer on his phone, and even his wife Deb calling his name. One day, his grandchild called for him downstairs, and Marley alerted Gary on the floor above. Having Marley by his side gives Gary, Deb, and their family greater peace of mind. Gary thanks Can Do Canines, saying, "I never thought I'd have a dog who's as able as she is to do her job. She's an amazing animal." Congratulations to Hearing Assist Dog Team Gary and Marley. Hannah lives with a neuromuscular disease that doesn't respond to conventional treatments. Her mobility assist dog Newton helps her manage the challenges of everyday life. Newton picks up and carries items for Hannah so she doesn't have to bend over and risk falling, a risk made greater by the blood thinner she takes. His skills include carrying her medicine bag and tucking her sleeves to help her out of her clothes, which saves Hannah from being worn out at the end of her day. Monthly medical treatments require Hannah to have a fistula in her arm, which causes severe discomfort. Newton licks her arm to stimulate circulation and relieve her pain. When she has to go to the hospital, he stays with her to alleviate her anxiety and loneliness. Thanks to his customized training, Hannah knows she can rely on Newton for whatever help she needs. She thanks Can Do Canines, saying, "Newton has made the reality I have much easier and brighter." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Hannah and Newton. Jackson used to be too anxious to leave his home or even go into another room alone. His mother, Andrea, says Autism Assist Dog Natalie has changed that, saying she has the uncanny ability to bring Jax down a notch. 2 weeks after she moved in, Natalie went with Jackson to get a shot from his doctor. This usually required 2 or 3 nurses to restrain him. This time, as Jax felt his anxiety increasing, he lay down next to Natalie. She licked his face and they snuggled for a while. Then Jax stood up and offered his arm for the shot. Natalie sits beside Jax during Zoom classes. This helps him focus and participate more often. She's a permanent, loving presence in his life. Andrea recalls the time he was petting her and looking at her, and he said, "Mom, my heart is so happy right now with Natalie." Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Jackson and Natalie and their family. Charity manages her type 1 diabetes with the help of a young black lab named Fabian. When her blood glucose is dropping, Fabian responds first by staring at her, then by giving her an unmistakable nose nudge to let her know she needs to check. He finishes the job by bringing Charity's blood glucose meter so she can test. If she's low, Fabian can bring her a bottle of juice. He even watches to make sure she drinks the entire thing and that her numbers return to normal. Charity is unable to wear equipment for diabetes management, and hypoglycemic unawareness made her miss sudden, dangerous lows. Having Fabian by her side has brought Charity, her children, friends, and family greater peace of mind. To everyone who helped raise and train Fabian, Charity says, "He's completely devoted to watching over me and keeping me safe. Thank you from the bottom of my heart." Congratulations to Diabetes Assist Dog Team Charity and Fabian. Dan's 15-year struggle with Parkinson's cost him much of his independence. Mallory is his mobility assist dog who helps Dan navigate his progressing symptoms. Dan's biggest fear is losing his balance and falling. Mallory's main job is picking up anything he drops so he doesn't have to risk bending over. She helps him take off his jacket by tugging on his sleeve and brings him items he can't safely reach. If Dan requires more assistance, Mallory will find his wife and alert her to his need. Mallory loves to work, but she also enjoys her playtime. Dan says, "She's a gift from heaven, but she's still a dog." True to her training, Mallory always picks up her toys. Dan's wife and children are grateful for Dan's increasing mobility now that Mallory is always by his side. Dan says, "I can't thank enough the people who made this incredible dog so perfect for me." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Dan and Mallory. Suzanne and her first hearing and mobility assist dog Enzo were graduates of Can Do Canine's owner-provided dog training program. When Enzo passed away last year, Suzanne felt vulnerable without her partner. She applied for a successor dog and was matched with a spirited black lab named Maya. The two quickly began to move to a shared beat, each knowing what the other needs without being told. Maya opens and closes drawers so Suzanne doesn't have to bend over. She alerts to the smoke alarm, a door knock, her phone ringing, and the oven timer going off. In public, Maya activates push plates for automatic doors. At home, she retrieves whatever Suzanne asks for with boundless enthusiasm. When Suzanne drops something, Maya lets her know to pick it up. Maya has changed Suzanne's world from one of silence and caution to a safer place where she can thrive. Congratulations to successor Hearing and Mobility Assist Dog team, Suzanne and Maya. Brady and Diabetes Assist Dog Ali have teamed up to manage Brady's type 1 diabetes. An avid hockey player, Brady stopped playing after he got his diagnosis. But he's planning on getting back on the ice now that Ali detects his low blood sugar levels by smelling a change in his body chemistry. Ali responds to the scent by nudging Brady vigorously with his nose. He's more accurate than the technology Brady uses. Even better, if Brady is low and too dizzy to move, Ali brings him a bottle of juice and stays by his side until he knows Brady is better. Thanks to Ali, Brady has fewer lows and highs and controls his levels better. With Brady at college and living on his own, his family has less worry knowing Ali is with him. Scoring a hat trick can't compare to the freedom, peace of mind, and independence that Ali brings to Brady's life. Congratulations to Diabetes Assist Dog Team Brady and Ali. Like most children with autism, Declan has a difficult time coping with changes in routine. His Autism Assist Dog Oma helps him manage these challenges with her calm personality and constant presence. Declan also benefits from the new routines he's learning to take care of his dog. He helps groom her, a repetitive motion that reduces stress. He especially enjoys feeding her, a routine that involves carefully preparing her bowl and then giving her permission to eat by saying, "Okay, Oma." One of her most important jobs is keeping Declan safe in public. Oma is tethered to Declan's waist with a strap that attaches to her harness. With a parent in charge of the team, the family can enjoy walking outside, knowing Oma will keep Declan from bolting into danger. Declan's parents look forward to the future as he grows up with Oma by his side. Congratulations to Autism Assist Dog Team Declan and Oma and their family. Katie has a painful connective tissue disorder, as well as a condition that affects blood flow and can result in fainting. Her mobility assist dog Eisley is a Lab and Newfoundland mix, a big girl well suited to her big job. Katie says, "Before Eisley, I wasn't able to do much. I had very little energy. Even picking up a dropped item could take me out for a couple of hours. Eisley changed all that. Now, when Katie needs to elevate her legs, Eisley patiently stands and supports her until her blood flow is corrected. She retrieves items Katie needs and picks up anything she drops." Eisley and Katie live together in our client apartment during their training time. Katie says, "I was impressed with how quickly she got in tune with me. She's made it possible to regain so much independence. With Eisley in my life, my goals seem like they're realistic and attainable." Congratulations to Mobility Assist Dog Team Katie and Eisley. "13-year-old Preston is big for his age at 5'10" and 160 pounds. He was 7 when he got his first Autism Assist dog, who kept him safe until passing away suddenly last year. Feeling sad and confused, Preston regressed. His parents, Nikki and Corey, knew their best option was a successor dog, but Autism Assist dogs aren't typically trained for children of Preston's size. Rising to the occasion, Can-Do Canines came through for the family with a yellow lab named Nelson. Nikki says the change in Preston's behavior was instantaneous. Nelson's calming presence lowers Preston's anxiety. During homeschool, he rubs his feet on Nelson under his desk to relax him. Although Nelson can't stop him from bolting, Preston seems to choose not to. Nikki says, "I think he feels safe, knowing Nelson's not going to let him go into danger." Congratulations to successor Autism Assist Dog Team Preston and Nelson and their family. Can-Do Canines is proud to add these 17 new assistance dog teams to our Graduate Hall of Fame. We look forward to graduating even more new teams this year. Thanks for your ongoing support of Can-Do Canines. We also want to thank Access Veterinary Care for being the bronze sponsor of this event. Don't forget, you can help more teams experience these partnerships by making a donation. Can-Do Canines are placed with people with disabilities at no cost to them, so every donation makes a life-changing difference. You can let more people know about Can-Do Canines by inviting them to watch this graduation video on our website and YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and take care.